is that you do not believe in anything that's to be expected, because that Inferno result, well, that came out of nowhere. So will they be able to do it? Maybe. However, let's be honest. We've seen great things from Astralis across this event. 2-0 after 2-0, knocking down the opposition step by step. From the lower bracket to the grand finals, Astralis one map away. And it could be beginning on the T side of VERTIGO. dupreeh finds the headshot into Ross, and that is a huge kill to kick off this pistol.
Oh boy. Feet to the fire. Fire behind him. Help is coming in the form of BMAS. He holds his composure, but the trades come back. And it's all T's across the board. Frozen left alone, 1v4. Kid in front of him. He can't even go and grab it safely. And he won't even have a chance at winning. He might just want to collect this and save. Just his half armor. It looks like he'll look for a fight, but there's a fight coming to him. It's dupreeh. Quickly recap here for the viewers who are just tuning in. First map we had Train. That was Mousesports' pick. Astralis dumpster them. Perfect game plan, amazing game by Device. Second map, Astralis pick it because they are 12-1 on the map. Mousesports dumpster them. Their worst loss in memory. 16-3 on that map on Inferno. We go over to Nuke. The third map, which would be a decider in a best of 3, a close call. Astralis steal it away, just barely, 16-13. Honestly, felt like Mousesports were playing so well, and Astralis, they came in clutch at the end. Now we come on to it on the mystery of the series, VERTIGO, a map that we've seen Astralis lose basically 10 T rounds, if that, to the 2 opponents that they've beaten so far at this event on it. And we don't know how inflated Mousesports' stats have been. Now, Astralis, for the first time in those 3 maps, are going to be starting out on the T side, and we'll see the full effect of their game plan.
Of course, the victories for Astralis on VERTIGO over Gambit and Liquid. And Gambit, they love themselves a little VERTIGO. So what does that tell you when they were so unsuccessful? Second round conversion, a little bit delayed here from Astralis. We're beyond the minute mark. Kerrigan playing this smoke perfectly, but he can't see anything. And soon, that temporary cover is going to fade. Kerrigan decides to go peeking downwards. Maybe this draws the terrorists into the boost of Frozen and chrisJ. Not quite close enough. You can see eyes every once in a while set up to this wall. This is not some new tactic. Frozen's still unable to see a thing. Finally, he sees dupreeh, but there's already 2 players ahead of dupreeh. Imagine taking the bomb out, shocked by the fact that there's 2 counter-terrorists standing in the open. The kills begin to come in. Kerrigan taking to the box, dies at the hands of Magis. He has 3 kills here versus these pistols, and Astralis will take that 2-0 start.
He's such a strong entry man on this map on T side, but this map is about glaive calling late into the default. This is about the fact that Device, as equally as good of a lurker as dupreeh is, about Device on these T defaults, clearing out the B stairs every single round, and the way that Device can open up the A ramp alone. These are what has made, these are the conditions that have made Astralis so strong, and what Mousesports will have to answer back on. But again, after Inferno, you have to give them the credit. I'm sure Kerrigan got very little sleep last night thinking about all of these maps, all of the details, and all of the ways that they need to play to be able to take down Astralis. They've shown us that their game plan can win them entire maps alone.
Because those game plans are no longer formulated by Kerrigan only. Remember, Myther coming into the mix. Kerrigan alluding to an additional analyst. Got more sleep than he would have if he was still on his own. Focusing on individuals is what's gotten Mousesports back into fighting form. Both chrisJ and Kerrigan increasing their stats alongside BMAS as of late. Obviously, Kerrigan's not going to get... Oh my god, what is that? Hey bro, just chilling.
Just Rodney Mullen. You like that reference? Let's go.
Couple pistol...
It's a good one.
Do you need me to take over for you,
just need to be wearing yellow pants there.
So I watched a YouTube video with Rodney Mullen the other day, and what a character. That's why. That's why I laugh. Because of you.
I don't know how many points that scores you upside down, but he's holding it.
All right, a little bit of patience here because the pistols have temporarily stunned Astralis. Frozen gets hit by the frag grenade, and the Galil of Chris J moves forward, moves upwards even. Anticipating this walkout from short side, but this is actually a very nice angle from him. Scope begins to deteriorate, and he still stays alive. 30 seconds, they are all around him, but Chris J, like a landmine inside of this site. He then pops his head up only to get smashed by Glaive. A 2K coming in from the his third most used weapon of all the weapons in Counter-Strike. Astralis, they will stabilize for the 3-0 start.
Shots down range. Well done by Glaive. Kerrigan goes into the AUG and no op and play. They'll do this with the out the op of Chris. He is pretty off and on when it comes to Vertigo CT side opping. He knows like how to make sure he's useful in the rounds, but not sure how much he prefers the angles themselves. Now this time around, it's something a bit different. Is he working with Dupree here? No, Device is here with Glaive, so things have already changed a little bit here on T side. It looks like they might be going into something of a full B soon,
nice
based
nade.
on this. My God, Frozen. Listen,
Perfect nade.
Frozen gets the kill on Device, but Frops is low. Frozen is very, very low.
They get those CTs to switch positions. Now Chris J on the forefront, and just as the frag grenade landed on one, the molly lands on the other. Then the deep dive, the deep dish. Dupree sits on 47, opts to walk away. This is going to be Astralis to test the A site yet again. It's where they got the game started. Once they had those weapons, A ramp has been their playground.
2 full kits on the CT side are rotators. So Mousesports are pretty well prepared to deal with this. Small player advantage. Very close round here. Yes, Device is down, but there is no telling who has odds. It'll come down to how well they deal with this post-plant situations, all these spams through the smoke.
That's barely anything. Still good utility.
No
Bomb
HE
plant
for the
from
plant.
Magisk. Gets that one down on the corner, then he takes the top rope. Nice call out versus Frozen. That's a position that's not used for too much, but challenging that CT shelf, it's a risk to take while those smokes are still up. Obviously, if they're gone and you can get aggressed, you're normally toast.
This is a rough...
Kerrigan, he's up high. He's standing on top of the boxes, looking to get an eye on ramp. Lots of bodies back here. He scopes in, catches the head of Magisk, but then Zipnix is able to trade it. We've got 2 more CTs on this bomb site, one of which inside of the smoke. Is he defusing? Finally able to tap it. And BMAS, well, he's able to get the kill, but the defuse comes through, and Mousesports on the board.
Hiding in plain sight. Right out there in the open. The spam goes down to try to deny the defuse. But it's off the mark. The smoke displaces their aim. The utility comes in. I was thinking, this is rough. No HE to stop or deny the plant, to delay the plant for the smokes to come up. Not much spam damage in there. They had to just really dive, and they could have very easily lost. That's one that rests on narrow margins here for Mousesports, but they will take it all day. Okay, we're going to Frozen try to drop some nades on the A ramp. Very, very good sign for Mousesports. They can win a round like that. But I don't think Astralis will be too phased. Still an expensive one for the CTs.
Mousesports not shying away from a little ramp aggression, but also not doing it straight out the gate. So the moment they leave, Astralis, well, they suss out the situation. We get Mousesports with a reposition closer towards the short shelf. Astralis, they head over towards the B site. Now, originally, we had Rops and Chris J over here. But now, it is very much only Rops.
Don't you ever say only Rops ever again.
Forgive me. BMAS moves from mid over towards this B site. Chris is going to take back the mid control. This is not a great position for shutting down any construction presence. If they're able to slip by him, then suddenly BMAS is in a very pressured position. And Rops, well, he's blind momentarily. BMAS does deliver the 2K. That's what they needed. Somebody to get some frags, but then Magisk, he just rips Rops' head clean off and goes one better. Leaves Kerrigan all alone here.
No odds. He's stuck. Oh, Glaive looking for the final kill. Okay, it's a wild spray, but Kerrigan, 34 HP. You better believe they run from this. He's coming off a round, or Mousesports won with 1 or 2 alive. He's going to save one of the only guns that they can potentially have next round, and he'll at least turn that gun into an AK. Magisk, his entrying, it's been pristine. He was the third player that never, I mean, he was on the A-site holds in those first halves in both games, getting the multi-frags from the top of default, anchoring the site so well. On T side, it was about Device opening up, or dupreeh opening up. But so far, we haven't had dupreeh play that same aggressive style down in the B stairs, and we haven't seen Device have any targets to fight against on the A ramp early. Mousesports have been leaving it vacant.
Glaive's 1v4 in round 22 of Nuke was his first 1v4 for over 14 months. His last was in September 2019 against Evil Geniuses.
That's usually because this man is first to die on both halves. Out there on CT side, going and getting info, and opening up with aggressive lurks on T side as well. That was a rare showing. Maybe they should take better care of him for these late round situations. That was one of the best 1v4s, especially just with the last kill. That crosshair placement kill, he gave Frozen a rope. He said, hold this rope, and they started pulling it towards him. And Frozen said,
what are you doing?
Just held on. He's like, fine, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'll just do it. Magnetized to him.
Led that sheep to slaughter. Device 1 health. Kerrigan, the only AK-47 for Mousesports. That's all they were able to hang on to. CZ double deagles around it, but it's very much Kerrigan here in the playmaker's position. Glaives underneath him. Zipex, wow.
What? At least look at the man.
Gotta look him in the eyes.
Look him in the eyes, at least.
BMAS, he's gonna peek out from elevator, lay down a little bit of lead. Frozen does find a little bit of sanctuary here on the side of the fire, but Magisk, well, he is on high alert, and he hits the dirt, but Glaive then hits Frozen from behind. There is damage that has been done here versus Astralis, but they are very much looking to secure this 5th round. Chris J over by the boxes, and Rops, well, he's in T-spawn, so he's not going to be able to offer us anything at all. This is Astralis with 5 T rounds in the opening 6.
And they don't seem to want to slow down. This, of course, is not a full-on gun round. Mousesports are not going to count this as a huge loss. Of course, the kills here are very nice, but Zipex answers back. That opening a whip up from the A ramp.
Snap.
The whip cream, the miracle whip. Up to the A site. That was real disgusting from Zipex. Literally didn't even look like he looked in his direction. Here it is. Pow! Smack! Whammo! Not very good at those fighting game sounds.
I was waiting for more. Let's see what else you had. Crack a towel!
Ah! That last one. I'll work on it.
At least you had the body movements for it, Frankie. I saw the emphasis, and that counts. But we need some more movements from Mousesports. We need a sign of life. Blink twice if you can hear me. Mousesports right now being played by Astralis.
Everyone is these days. Especially on this mystery of a T side. How's it working out so well? dupreeh said, sometimes it's random, sometimes it's easy. For them, it's always easy.
Rops has already been spotted. Could it look any easier? Yeah, it could with BMAS delivering the double, but then the quick trade frags. BMAS has been the most consistent portion of these B holds. Zipex 9 and 2 as Frozen takes him down. It's a 1 versus 3 attempt that he's already got rolling, but Device not going to move a muscle on that post plant. Locks it down, and Astralis now 5 rounds the lead. They made that last one look easy. Rop stuffs his face into the wall, just plugs his ears and hope they go away. But this nightmare, this monster...
Who is consistently this impressive on T-side VERTIGO right now?
I need to think.
Throw a name out there.
I need to think.
Can't think of anyone. What the hell? What the hell is going on?
Versus top tier opponents, no one other than Astralis.
Right now, Astralis, they're hitting a groove on this map.
Ooh, caught off guard.
Oh.
It's this kid yet again.
Dude, yeah, BMAS at least. He's not been shaken. 2K spray downs on B. Trying to hold it. I mean, there's not much strategy involved there, but that's not why they have BMAS. BMAS is there because he multi-frags. He's an anchor. He holds the ship in place.
Ooh, another one. All the rounds that Astralis have added to the scoreboard. Seems as though they may have just fizzled out. Made possible by BMAS in mid. Desert Eagles, the name of the game for Mousesports in this 8th round. But it's not over yet. Not yet.
Yeah, it is an awkward situation considering Astralis here on the T side. They can save their guns, they don't save. Their teammates will buy next round. 2 on 5. Well, they get a kill. Is there going to be another mistake being made? BMAS, he's been pretty good, and he gets some good damage as well. Oh my god, that flank almost fails Rob. Of course, he's going to be patient in those moments.
B-side's
and
open.
now Dupree, he's got 26 HP, 1v3. 30 seconds as the bomb goes down. The CTs will start to make their way over. He's got the open plant. He can get into Rop's face. Oh my god, he's actually crossing directly over Rop. Surely Rops kills him in a few seconds.
No.
He's looking up at the moment.
There it is.
There it is. Oh,
Knife
no. Okay. He thought about it, but...
And then he had flashbacks to Nuke, where Frozen wanted to stab Magisk, and the man got turned on. I'm getting turned on. Mousesports, they've got a 2nd round of the board. This CT side, it's time to come alive. I mean, it's here now. You know, this is the big question mark, VERTIGO. And so far, it's only been an exclamation point from Astralis.
The only difference here from the comeback that we saw on Train... Okay, hold on.
Do you want me to jump in?
Let's do it.
Okay, the last time BMAS played a best-of-5 final, he dropped 103 kills versus HSL. The only other time, he went 72 for 54.
HSL.
I would be lying if I told you that I knew who HSL were.
Hairy slug lovers.
Huge slimy loogies.
Harry.
You can't use a word that he already used.
Oh no, okay. Horrifying, snaky, lop-eared rabbits.
Rabbit!
Back into the gun round. We got it up on device. We got Rock setting up shop, and we've got Dupree taking kills already. Immediately into that B site, Frankie. Immediately. Right off of the pause. They don't cool off. They heat up. And Dupree. Oh,
No.
gets Chris J's head.
That's the one.
That cost him 93 points of health.
Dupree, the 2 for free. Oh, Kerrigan. He's talked, but they don't have short shelf. Oh, well, where are the T's? Okay, they're coming up now, so Kerrigan's moving up. He doesn't have help right now, so it's kind of like win or die and lose at this point for Kerrigan. He gets spotted, but yeah, he can't really worry about going back at this point.
Blind is... Oh,
Shut up.
no.
Shut the hell up, Dupree.
Hits him with the drive-by. Peels out of town. Device gonna find himself another kill off of the op. He's got to get some kills before Dupree shows up and takes them all.
These guys are going to be broker than Blockbuster.
Ouch.
Memories.
Hiding in the corner. What you gonna do about it? Nothing. You're not gonna do a thing. because Astralis are back to their winning ways. 7 rounds on this T side already.
Oh, I was staring at Frozen's money and B-Masses, but they've got 2 players with something. A little extra scratch.
A little bit of money. Savings for a rainy day. And Astralis, well, right now they are pouring on the rounds, so it's now or never.
Like maple syrup on pancakes.
Bomb pops. Astralis, 5 rounds the lead and 5 players surviving. Dupree. Look at this.
Dude, and he has no health after this. Second kill down low. Boom. Frozen. Man, Frozen's always so careful. Like Rob's, honestly. But, yeah. Dupree's on rollerblades.
Half their timeout's gone.
Mouse to flash Astralis just 6 times so far on Vertigo.
Not enough.
Not nearly enough. What's the solution? What's the problem?
I think I think the problem is multifaceted, and that's why Astralis are so strong on this map. I think that the thing is that its problem gets even greater because I think that Astralis still have yet to really utilize mid, and that's the scariest part. They've been there a little bit. They've stopped some pushes, but that's still something they can go back to. Magic's been just holding on, making sure they don't push too much. He'll take some damage here. But yeah, right now, it's testy for Mousesports because if they hold on B, they get tested by 1 player. Okay, they try to go for the push down A. It works out well, but Device just does not actually run. He stands his ground. And look, for that, they've actually traded for B main control once again. And it's just been a nightmare, okay, for the CT sitting here. Some of these angles are so brutal. Oh my God. And they, you can barely stand anywhere comfortably. Robs has an op. So we'll see if they can do something. If nothing else, this map is quite open, especially on the B site. Not everything gets smoked out all the time, so maybe he can do something. B-Mass also, he's been pretty good at holding here. But there's only 1 T keeping their attention, right? Keeping them entertained. Whoa. Drops the hammer on him. Nice shot from Chris. Device respects it. You line up on the 16th wrinkle, down underneath the window, a little to the left. Stand on the cross. Easy smoke.
Pretty jumping around in the site. Knows B-Mass is back there. What about Rops? Well, he's on the other side of the smoke, hoping for a cross attempt. This is Mousesports with a man advantage. And Rops is going to double down on it. Dupree will answer, and Frozen is here to help. It's all on Device. He's got a deadly deagle. 5 seconds to spare. He needs a kill into Frozen. And hell, he could just get both of these frags. If he really pushes the envelope, Frozen, he's going to extend so that he does not die. And Mousesports will have a 3rd round of the scoreboard. But how many more can they gather on this defensive half as they still trail by 4?
I think this has been key. So at least if Kerrigan gets 1, that's huge. I think leaving Astralis in this 5v5, they're powering up too much. If Mousesports challenge on the A ramp, Chris gets a kill, Juggle went back, Robs gets his lurk frag, they deny that, then I think we're starting to get some new plans from Astralis. Apart from that, I don't think they're going to try to change it up too much because overall it's been working quite well. Over the guise of a flash, Kerrigan passes by but eventually dies. I think this is the kind of play they needed to make, but of course it's not always going to be fruitful. Here's a situation, and now Robs is once again up to bat, trying to be aware of all of the potential lurks. Sometimes such a nightmare to find him. Oh, he's going to sniff this stack out. Look at the shoes. They're shining, but he'll get shot in the face off of the boost.
Same boost. We've seen him utilize it more than once already. And Dupree, he's going to make the absolute most of it. Already extending into the site and extending the advantage. 1 kill after another. Astralis, 8 rounds to 3 now. Frozen left with nothing to do here.
He is going bananas with these openings. You see what I mean? Like, juggle, A ramp kill, B ramp kill, solo. The way they're working both sites, it feels like that's been a consistent feature and something that's so hard to account for on CT side. And yeah, I mean, Kerrigan can 50-50 it, but unless they have the exact perfect utility and a little bit of luck on their side, you know, it might not always get a kill. And if the round's predicated on that alone, then things will only get worse and worse. And they have to really rely on either one site to hold. I think the one thing for Mousesports is that they're getting opportunities for this one, you know, dry peak over on B. A player on the A ramp by himself that could go untraded. There are chances, but they can't find the right suitcase.
Nothing but duds. A couple of scouts here for Mousesports. Things starting to stink of desperation. And even more so now that Frozen goes down. Chris J, he's got another scout player here to help him. Glaive hears both of those eco rifles firing off, and he jumps up. Could have been a chance at a kill there, but Mousesports still at the man disadvantage. Flashes go over. CTs come closer. And Rops just sinks into the corner. How little do Mousesports feel at the moment, getting outclassed by Astralis, who have a map advantage and only 8 rounds to go to take this grand finals. Rops, he's going to be able to reposition, so maybe he can frag out from here, but it's actually Zipex to kill Glaive. Dupree with the entry, 13 and 6. BMAS trying to get into this position. A P250's not much, and it's rough. He goes down, leaving only the scouts now. 40 seconds on the clock, and these CTs scrambling inside of the smoke, inside of the fire, inside of the jaws of Astralis. Device and Dupree close out another round, and I feel like a broken record, but I have to repeat myself. Astralis win again and again, and they lead by 6.
They are the Sharks, the demons from below, coming up for food whenever they see this opportunity, whether it's the A site or the B site, and they can kind of take their pick. This is a huge issue. And now the money's not amazing. Chris, he got an opening kill on the ramp the last time. Kerrigan going to get chased back to the spawn. However, he finds his duel. There's no one close. Glaive finds him through the smoke, trying to get a little bit too much. And Chris, he's got an op coming his way, and his back turned. He whips back, only to see the Tech 9. And now he's dead. 4v3. Astralis, they've got control again.
Frozen wants his hands on the op. Will that be enough to make a difference? Device just trying to draw attention, and sure enough, Astralis still very much here. But they start to walk away. It's not because they have anything at this B site already, but rather they want to test it. And it's been a test that they have passed with flying colors. Mousesports have been unable to shut them down, no matter what Rops does. He's played at the base of the stairs. He's played behind the stairs, inside the site, behind the bomb site, and in this exact position. And yet the B site crumbles round after round. Let's see it, Rops. He's going to get the multi-kill, cuts off 2 players, and then he falls. But he primes BMAS for a quick trade frag, and maybe Mousesports can close. Yes, a 4th on the board at least. If they can continue these winning ways, a 6-9 scoreline is enough to give them a chance once it's their turn on the offense.
They honestly proved something huge. Just as you talked about, he has tried everything. He's tried to be everywhere, and nothing has worked out. They set up BMAS now, finally, to not just get kills in vain. BMAS, he was doing so well when he's the last alone, but it was already too late by the point that he got a multi-frag out. Here, Rops is helping him. That's a big one. Now, the issue is, of course, evolving further. Innovating past this point. He's been floating, getting dismantled, picked off, iced out on all these different angles. And now, what's the final option? You still got to play with confidence. You still have to believe you have the right position. He's playing the 50-50 on this peak. He's going to swing out for it. Oh my god, he mows him down. That's enormous. BMAS still up. Bomb in their grasp.
Rops gonna get mollied into the open. He gives us a triple kill. Now Rops is starting to feel this a little. He's starting to draw blood from Astralis. But they are still gonna be able to bounce back, at least to the 2 versus 4. Another challenge, and BMAS flash goes high. Plenty of time for either team to make a mistake, because they just gave back that double man advantage. It's all on Device. and he swaps to the AK. A costly decision. A 5th round for Mousesports. Maybe they can close this with a 6th.
They prosper with Rops here, dueling them, and he finds this timing on the peak. A nice way to change it up slightly. Playing off the timings. He's still got another play available. It looked like he tried everything. Would have to go back to something else that he's already done. Instead, he's got something new. BMAS, yeah, he only gets some damage in, but he delays long enough for Kerrigan to come through. So now what's the move? Rops, he's still playing with confidence, out kind of in the open. They want some more Rops. Rops, what you got?
Go ahead and shave one off the back. 3 rounds in a row now that Rops is finally able to put up this B defense. He is pissed, and he has good reason to be. Magis coming in from behind, doesn't matter. Rops continues to deliver, and Frozen's gonna cut down another player. It was 6-1 for Astralis at one point. Back and forth affair, and Mousesports stabilized enough. Why? Because Rops decided to deliver. He was challenged at that B site. He was targeted by Astralis, and for good reason, because their game plan looked good, and their executes strong. But now it's Mousesports to the offense to try and set the precedent. Zipx gonna fall away from the short shelf as the grenades rain forward, and Astralis rotate over.
Yeah, sitting the short shelf, but looking to execute again. Glaive's coming up close. He's got his back turn, waiting for a flash. Peeks out. Player in the back dies. Glaive's up to bat. He goes out. Looking good here for Mousesports.
They're able to get a man advantage. Magis on the orange boxes, looking to take to the top rope. The T's jump through, and they get shut down, but the bomb plant still comes in. Magisk and Device versus Kerrigan and Chris. The old dogs on the block trying to stand tall, and sure enough, they deliver. Device still able to clutch if he kills Chris, but he dies out. 5 kills from Chris J, a crucial pickup as Mousesports takes second pistol.
Another clutch for Chris. Those important 1v1s. Denies Device in that exact same spot as he did in the first half. Critical moment. Mousesports can take a breath. Of course, the buy is still coming in here for Astralis. But as you pointed out, man, true test of a player. Rops grand finals. 3 maps in. Halfway through the game, broken, beaten down, but still plays with confidence. Gets out-dueled, outplayed, out-hustled every single time on those peaks, and still finds a way to reinvent himself. That was amazing to watch. Your average pro runs out of spots. They start to play safe. They play passive. They fall back. They play for time, not Rops. He knew what he had to do to make sure that they could pull this back at all. And now with this pistol, this map has become feasible.
They've got to convert this. They can't just let Astralis continue this lead so early on the CT side.
Astralis literally looked demented on their T sides versus the other teams, and Mousesports have already done a little bit better. Glaive on the similar boost. Player coming up on the short shelf. Will he get one for free? No, he'll have to fall back, but now they'll get chased down, and the punish is here.
Glaive, though, he spins around, keeps himself alive. You would have thought Kerrigan had that kill any day of the week. But he offers up an opening to the CT. Zipx almost on the Oh, he does nail it! 30 seconds still to the clock, but this is going to send Mousesports scrambling. And all of a sudden, at a moment's notice, Astralis could go stampeding into this bomb site. Dupree attempts exactly that. Rops, he's on the flank. He's got the backs of them turned. And Chris J begins to churn up the CTs within their own site. Mousesports stabilized.
Oh, perfect
1 round
coverage.
The difference.
It's Frozen, literally. 1 kill there. Frozen, he doesn't get that kill. The bomb could get denied. He was going to die. His teammate was going to die. That's it. As soon as that bomb gets planted, Astralis flash through the smoke. They realize they've got to get this play going now. It's the best opportunity. They've got one with their hands busy. They come through it, and they get stuffed.
Kerrigan starting to get amped. And Astralis maybe starting to get nervous. Still early days, but it's a good start from the T side of Mouse. And now they look to make money versus USPs. Who steps up from Mousesports? That's my question. Good dink from Magisk, but it's just that measly pistol. Vice, he's going to challenge that? No, he just lets them slip through. This could be a disaster for the B site. Although, of course, it should just meet the expectations. Sure enough, pistol damage coming out, but so little to work with for Astralis. We are all tied up at 9.
These entries, baby, they're shooting hot. They're shooting hot. All headshots here.
Mousesports starting to gain steam.
Everyone but Chris on the board. Buy-in for Astralis. Here's where they're going to have to stop it, relying on Device. He's had a fantastic final so far. Rops has been right up there with him on all of these maps, and we saw it on Inferno, like how crazy good he could get. BMAS, we'll see what entries he can pull off. Just like Nuke. Anybody's game.
Oh,
Device. He
No
shoots for the
respect.
feet.
BMAS gonna find another headshot, but then Zipex and Rops and Magisk. Look at these trade frags.
They rotated so quickly. 2 CTs inside of middle. Bomb down with them. Frozen and Chris J walking up. They don't necessarily know there were 2 here. They heard the entry. They're probably going to read it as such. They've pushed into mid. They know unless there's a lurk from A, that'll be a potential. But taking cover in the place that they are, they don't have to worry about that any longer. Where is Dupree going? Dropping down the ladder. He's making the long flank. This is so smart. Considering Mousesports have to take their time here, he could potentially catch a timing. But look how patient they're being. Oh my God.
They've played completely cool.
Is Frozen going to be rewarded for this in the same way that Glaive did versus him? Crosshair placement as Dupree starts to wrap around.
And it's perfect. The fact that Mousesports just sit and wait with the possession of the bomb on Magisk. I don't know if he saw both players either. But Magisk, he has one job. Do not lose that C4. Lock them down in this position. And they have no route to compromise the backside of Magisk. They need to hit him hard. And with that Molotov going over the top, Frozen peaks for 2 kills in this 2v2. Mousesports, 7 rounds in a row, now lead by 1.
Call it a lesson. Frozen is cold, holding on, waiting patiently for that flank. Looked like the play of the game for Dupree to come around in that moment. 20 and 12 for Rops, holding on to mid. And oh, Magisk from the other side. He says, that's not how you play this spot, my friend.
Mousesports starting to collect themselves over at the A site, but we get that double nade almost dunked onto position. Kerrigan, he's going to be the initial peak. And they've got to be cautious as to not lose HP. There's that AK in the hands of Device. Dupree's going to serve as an anchor on the B site. It's a stack up from Astralis on A. They look to get aggressive, but Kerrigan's more forward position completely calls them out. And now they're going to have 3 players back here on the CT shelf. Device takes first contact, gets himself a kill.
Oh, they're weaponizing the AK in the best way possible. It's changing hands now. Deagle to him.
Turns.
Yeah.
And then within all of this chaos, Frozen, he's just going to go ahead and get that bomb down. Mousesports, they've accomplished a big task. Bomb plant. Magisk up front with the AK. Still Deagles all around him. And yet these T's locked into position. They've got Frozen back behind the sandbags. A CT smoke on the top of ramp and a perfect flash from Frozen. He blinds his own teammate and puts himself in the playmaker position. 3 kills from Frozen. Dupree trades back, but there is no time for the retake, no time for the defuse, and a dwindling lead from Astralis turns into Mousesports in control.
Frozen says, hell no, Kerrigan, it's my time to shine. Move aside. I'm here to lay down the law. All eyes on me.
Good thing he recovered. That would have been embarrassing if Kerrigan's death snowballs into a retake there for Astralis, but they are right back onto the guns. 1 off in position. It's Device. Great early damage from Astralis. Do you expect anything else? A follow-up frag on the exact same spot and a headshot from Glaive.
And it's the 1 bullet. Cause the HE damage.
Welcome to the gun rounds.
Yeah, now it's getting serious. Two up, but they ain't safe.
We get Dupree playing a spot that Rops wanted to lock down B site from early. Initially, he was completely countered. In the end, he found some success. Dupree gonna get the head of BMAS. He falls back.
Dupree's the guy to learn from when it comes to holding this.
Two CTs right ahead of them. Chris J almost catching him in the open.
Oh, Glaive uses his utility for Dupree.
Perfect.
Sorry, Device, and then gets the op shot. They'll be able to stay alive. One person tucked in close left. Kerrigan takes some damage on the other side of the map. Chris J holds his nerve, but will he find an opening is the question.
Device has been rock solid, saved his teammate. Chris J closing in on quad. He is going to find himself that first kill versus Dupree. And Device, well, now he's smoked off. Timing could be everything, but Frozen gets over. Chris J's going to take a dink. Oh, Frozen! 2 kills through the smoke. And we are right down to the 2v2. Chris goes down. Frozen, 100 health. Players ahead. Shots coming through, and Magisk saves it. But Frozen, hot damn. He gives it his all.
That's just heat maps right there. Through the smoke, knowing the positions, the perfect spams. It's not wild. He's not going all over the place. He's targeting them where he knows that they'll go. Those smokes zone these CTs into certain spots, and look at him identify those locations.
Bro, like he's got thermal vision. Frozen's a predator.
Magisk comes through at the end. The final 2 kills of the round, and Astralis win. It gets scary for a second. It's the damage that matters for Mousesports. Astralis now, what's the game plan? It got a little tenuous there on the B site. Chris found the huge kill in the corner of the site. The movement to get there was beautiful. He got spotted by the op shot. Glaive off a flash. He's not even going to see his opponent fly by. It's Kerrigan.
And he almost gets himself an additional kill, but Frozen, he's saved by Chris. Frozen's so low HP, though. How are they going to play him? He's not going to be able to get entries like he did last round with a health bar that low. Dupree, he's positioned himself down at the base of the stairs. You said it already. Dupree, he's someone to learn from. Run boost over from Chris. That's going to offset the crosshair. Oh, and Chris, he doesn't even need a second peek. 2 kills for Chris J, opening up the B site. Magisk, he's going to look to lock it down. And he also dies out to Chris, who is finally killed by Device. He walks forward with the scope up, warns BMAS of his presence, but they may have to save. Mousesports extend their lead. It is never too late, Chris.
My God, he is making waves. Chris Columbus over on the B site from A, getting the entry. That's the refrag on Glaive through the smoke. Another critical moment from him. He's playing smart. You can tell by those movements. Getting into the back of B just a couple rounds ago. And now he's just in full monster mode. He took a best of 5 final to really show us what Chris is capable of. This is the most important, right? And then, of course, the run boost across with the help of his teammates. It puts Dupree in such an awkward position. Now we see why people run boost that way. Dupree has to figure out who's going to peek first. And then he sees the 40 chiclets of Chris J's teeth coming out the left side.
Glaive dies early, and then Zipnik's is going to trade it. You want to get kills through smokes, kids? Rops finds Magisk. That's a big pickup in mid. Rops now beyond the 20 kill mark, and Chris J gonna catch Device, extending around from short shelf. Dupree jumps up in mid. He's able to get a kill, as Zipix does as well, and we are right back into the clutch, but Chris puts him down. Another multi-kill from Chris J.
Mousesports showing us a new threat, a new team to stick it to him on this half.
He's not going to shy away from playing the bottom of the stairs. I think that's the right call. Just can't let Mousesports get into those executes that Astralis themselves were abusing. Deagle damage is good. Dupree almost with a second, but it's him and Device to combine for a couple of kills. Frozen ices out Magis, who is looking to get aggressive at the base of A. Glaive on construction. He's been spotted by Kerrigan and softened by him too. Oh, he missed his frag grenade. Minute on the clock, bomb dropped.
Every little bit matters. This goes both ways. Zipic seemingly entering up the A site. Kerrigan, he's looking to catch a rotator. He's going to go deep for it. It looks like he might be able to catch one. That's Glaive out. Finally, that's the B player he saw move over towards A. If there isn't, I can't think of a better reason why they'd want to take it over to this side. Then they'll fight over into CT. Zipic will try to finish off Kerrigan, and he does, but he's walking backwards into mid, not expecting an extra player to be there.
And that's the evacuation route. That's the bomb over to the A site. But Device, do you think they expect this angle?
I don't know. It looks like they're aware of it. But it looks like they'll away. Just a moment. The bomb will get planted. Device
versus Frozen. 2 kills to each of their names already. A 14th round on the line for Mousesports. And he's got that kit. He's got full utility.
Frozen has to be able to keep eyes on this bomb in some sense. Device,
he tucks.
He's going to have to smoke this play at some point. He's got the Molotov. And certainly that smoke's coming out now. Points of reference is everything. Frozen starts to peek out. I think he saw him get away. Frozen takes the early peek.
He's calling him out. Device is going to get back on it. This time he's going to stick it. Frozen looking for the angle, looking for the reload. And Device is way too cool. An 11th round for Astralis. He sprays the wrong side of the smoke. And that utility, invaluable for Device.
He had that lined up. He big-brained it. He peeked early before the smoke plumed. Saw that Device had fake stuck it, got back into cover. Device had no idea what was coming. He was forced to stick the bomb. He comes in from the other side, and that's all that will be necessary. Off an eco.
Off an eco. Oh, the late game curveball. Round 24 will be one to remember because it was so back and forth. Zipex, such a performance with that scout in mid as well. But he gave his backup. He gave that entry over to the A site. He was worried they were in the walls. A run boost across will find that the B stairs are clear for the taking. This could bode very well for Mousesports if they opt to go into an execute. But there is so much time, and they tend to use this clock.
Oh, man. You cannot lose a round like that versus Astralis.
That's where they'll break you.
Yeah.
Zipex, confident in sandbags, just waits and waits. He's got no reason to move. We do watch Mousesports now trickle over to the B site. Why? Because they were given this amount of space.
Did they do enough here? Zipex in his position. He can peek whenever he feels it's necessary and get info. They're still continuing to throw flashes over here, but look at how the B site's being played. It's nothing in the middle. Device with his teammate hugging the wall, and they'll look for the peek now, timing it.
Cross. Rops. He finds that first headshot, and the cross from Rops is everything. Magis, oh, well, he's got him back, and Zipex, he does get a kill at the A site, so this ends up being a man advantage. Magis goes down at the hands of Chris J, who has been so valuable in these last few rounds, so clutch when they need him. Despite his struggling efforts, BMA's going to take this lane over top of construction. If he wraps around CT, then suddenly Glaive is compromised. And Chris J, well, he's going to go down these B stairs. Zipex ices things out. We've got 2 separate 1v1s, but BMAS finds a back turn. And oh, that's a bit of a stutter, but it's the clutch minister in position. Molotov in front of him. Incendiary thrown out. He extinguishes it to play with timing, and timing is everything. He goes into the fire and dies. Mistakes are made, and Mousesports 2 rounds to go.
No. We see what they can do when no one is fighting them. Crossing the site. Dupree, MP9. Mousesports, could they really do it? Winning VERTIGO.
They have won 11 of the last 13 rounds.
And Astralis only won a round with Deagles.
The calm before the storm. as they dry peek into device. They're going to offer over a man advantage, which for Astralis could be striking gold. Rops, he's so close, and Magisk just a little further out. Could have already have been spotted. Not the case. Mousesports, they're going to look to smash their way into the A site. But Astralis, they have everything they need to hold. They've got device on the op back on CT side. Yes, there's 2 MP9s in the mix, but that could actually open up aggression for Astralis. When they've got a 2-man advantage, they could absolutely play the risk. A fake bomb plant to elicit utility. Damage being connected through this smoke from ChrisJ. Now he puts down his Molotov, and Device's prying eyes come from around this shelf. The bomb is planted. There is no utility left here for Mousesports. 2 flashbangs remain for Astralis, and they are looking for a kill.
Oh.
But ChrisJ delivers, and BMAS is right there with him. Now it's even. BMAS in from short, traded out by dupreeh, and Chris is going to get a little closer. He dies out to the MP9. It is all on Frozen. Ice in his veins. He needs to get them both, but he won't. It's Astralis with a 12.
Oh my God, it's going to come down to the final few seconds, but he'll grab the defuse, and Astralis will grab the round. This is nuts. That was such a good try. The stronghold in the post plant. BMAS put up a couple of numbers. And here, it's ultimately the 3v5 that catches up with them. Any extra players, and they almost certainly win. dupreeh getting away on ChrisJ's watch. And that's after Chris gets the craziest opening kill. The AK shot heard around the world onto Device.
ChrisJ's been so on point. As this map's gone on, he is powered up.
Pressure on dupreeh. Rops looking like the most appealing B anchor of the series at the moment. This is a trademark position for dupreeh. And will he find success? Well, he finally starts to.
Yep. And he's going to be able to find himself a second, but then there's that trade kill from Rops. The 2 AKs still standing, and oh, are they ever on point. Chris will be taken down. Bomb yet to cross. Rops with a chance. Denied by Magisk. But Kerrigan, he just got his hands onto the AK. Flashbangs coming over top, and he goes down as Astralis continue to close in.
Oh my God, it's 14-13. My head is going to explode. We've got another buy here from Mousesports. And in the 4th quarter, again, Astralis coming up clutch. dupreeh standing his ground from this position. 2 frags to make sure the rest of this round goes easily their way. Round 28, he's still on an MP9. Device opping. That HE can make a world of difference. We see the cluster of Ts inside of middle. Traveling as a pack. All blind at once, and Chris again. Critical trade. However, dupreeh on the stairs. 2 headshots. Rops and Kerrigan are gone.
How does he pull that off?
With an MP9.
He was completely on his own.
Oh my God, they've got to find themselves. They've lost their identity in this round. It was going to be a B split. They have to reinvent, improvise.
Look at those corpses stacked on one on top of the other. In the exact same position, dupreeh, he's looking to lock down more than just 2. BMAS finds that headshot.
Clean.
That's the entry into the B site. Now it's Magisk's attempt to hold on, and he gets so blinded, but so does his opponent. And now he's regained vision, but it's a wild situation where BMAS comes out on top. Device scoped in, smoked off. Hopeful, and Zipex right here with him. That damage from Astralis. He's even stopped the bomb. And Frozen. How does he get back into this? A smoke grenade to the side of green. 20 seconds left. He calls out Device's position, but can do no damage. Frozen picking back up that bomb.
Oh, we know what he can do at these angles. Is he going to fake it?
He sticks it.
Zipex
comes right through.
No 15s for Mouse. 14-14. Avalanche of rounds in the second half. As puttered to a halt, the momentum starts to swing. The pendulum in favor of Astralis. And Device, eyes down the ramp. Kerrigan, shot in the brains out of the round.
But they're
Four
still
pistols
working with
walk up.
bronze. Barely much. Anything really. Oh, wow. Device even gets himself a second despite being completely surrounded. But that's Robs now on the op. Bomb drop. Molotov thrown. Utility scares off Mousesports. P250's not going to give them anything. We've seen a sick ace from Robs on the op. But it was not a 1v4. Astralis not afraid to show their presence. Not afraid to make a little noise.
Come on, we've seen it. RAWPZ. Rops. Minute up. Of course, they'd have to make a series of horrible mistakes in this position. Bomb is under their watch.
Robs really has nothing to offer here. They go from spamming smoke and making a ruckus to falling into total silence. They will show him nothing. And if he wants to walk away with the save, then go right ahead. But if he walks in for this bomb plant, odds are he's dead. 3 CTs nearby. He picks that bomb up and he's just going to try and express this plan. But there it is. Dupree swoops in and Astralis have their 15th. But that's what we expected because there was little for Mousesports to work with. It is overtime or championship point.
Bam.
And if Device is hitting shots like that,
whew. Kodak moments from Device. Round 30. They don't need the op here on T side. They need something else. Refrags from BMAS, entries from Robs. Where will the duels take place? And Astralis add another challenge, another obstacle, the second op. What better time is there for an off-meta round from them? Something they haven't tried yet that they know they can do. Dupree, he's friendly to this gun. The run boost will come through. He doesn't have to react.
Turns his head and fires a shot. Chris with minimal commitment.
They're going to hear that go off. Mousesports, they carry a threat on B or A. They have shown they can do either. Right now, which one do they feel more comfortable about is the question. I press forward on the ramp. No late boost here in place for Astralis. They sit pretty. Response grenades are coming in.
4 players grouped. Robs lingering a little longer just to make sure that the flank's not compromised. Zipex is going to push up into the short shelf. He's going to get himself into the CT spot, and they're going to boost over top of this smoke to try and shut them down. Kerrigan looking to save them. He alleviates pressure, and Device not able to get that wall bang. He eats a grenade instead. Mousesports calling out the position, trying to give enough cover with utility to keep him off from denying that plant. Chris gonna take damage through smoke. Bomb at about the halfway point. Robs is gonna shut down the first one, but then he gets traded right back. And Kerrigan, well, he is up close and personal. Magisk over the top. Kerrigan sweeps them. 2 kills from the side. It is all on Dupree. 1v3, and he falls at the final hurdle. Mousesports push up. Mouse and Astralis here on Vertigo. Do we head to Dust 2? A best of 5 finals in a 5th map? Or an OT close? Double op setup right back from Astralis, making the most of the money in OT.
Astralis get more clutch by the minute. It's the only reason we're in OT in the first place. 14-11 at one point here. I think Astralis brought it back. Brought it back on Nuke. They want it bad. This would be a grand final for Zipex post break. Show that he is the real asset tag. Astralis, they're a bit more forward on the A ramp here. New tactics. They come out early to push into Kerrigan, get a kill. This was Mousesports about to set up for the exec. They've got a lurker on the other side of the map. They've been slow, but here they clearly wanted to press forward off a kill. Kerrigan does not deliver that. Do they survive in the late boost to make it a 3v5 situation? Chris, could it be a critical refrag? Oh no, he misses the opportunity. Oh!
But he's still so good.
Pins Magus to the wall. There's still someone on short shelf. Another CT peeking out.
Frozen finds one through the wall. Device, now he's scoped in, but Robs takes his head off. Mousesports, they were at a man disadvantage. And all of a sudden, it is back to the 2v2. Frozen, he is on such little health. But Zipix, he is inside of the corner. And as he goes out to kill Robs, Frozen can trade, but little HP versus Dupree.
He sees him.
No, yes,
oh my God.
does. But he's got to go for he calls out the fake. It's the fake plant into the commitment. Now he has to get the kill. It's his only option.
Oh my God!
As he's falling!
In the air!
Ice, ice, baby! More like frozen. Frozen, baby! Kerrigan, he's got the cards because he's got the talent on this roster. He had to hit that shot. He called out the bluff. He dodged that frag grenade. He realized there was a chance that he'd die to the utility, and he put an end to that, but Device brings it right back. However, last round, it wasn't enough. A measly man advantage. Mousesports don't go out without a fight. Kerrigan's gonna challenge.
Oh my God, what is this?
I don't even know.
Device dies. He's just falling back. Incidental death. Smoke to help them with this Molotov. 4-on-4 situation. Zipix slow. Kerrigan posted up, waiting for his teammates. Their smokes are here. Nobody's coming up with the bomb. They're trying to bait out the utility. He continues to do more damage, but what is the end goal here in this round?
Bomb now looks to join them. One Molotov, one frag, no smokes left. Kerrigan, oh, he gets aggressive. He has been making this his style. And now there's question marks for Astralis. Where has he gotten off to? He somehow manages another kill. Magus gonna put him down. 3 frags from Kerrigan. He has done everything to give Mousesports a solid chance at a 17th out the gates in OT. Robs is back on the sandbags. He calls out Magus, and unless Dupree can clutch, which he's not even going to try, Mousesports are looking at a flawless overtime T-side.
No goddamn way. They actually did that. They actually did that. They came back from a 3v5 in the first round of OT to pulling this off. Kerrigan with 3. No teammates ready to get on the site. He gets 3 kills. That wicked first shot on Device. That was one to remember. Where's the card with your name on it, Kerrigan? Kerrigan.
Oh.
Dude. I mean, he reacted to it.
There it is.
Okay, we got it. Holy hell. Oh my God. I mean, listen. I don't think that this is necessarily over unless Mousesports get this 3-0. So see if they can at least get that first Device. Again, another opening kill. That's been one win condition, but it's not been the last thing they need. Device, is he jumping up is the question. He has. Oh, he'll miss a shot. A rare miss. And Robs will actually punish, walking all the way through mid over towards B. He hampers the rotations. Dupree answers back. He'll catch that off. BMAS wants to help out Robs, trying to stay connected. Dupree coming around the outside.
He's going to get the player behind
There's
him.
a chance, yeah.
Yeah, Chris J not ready for that. We get the swap to the 5-7, and Dupree goes down. And BMAS, he is so blind.
Ooh.
Frozen 1v3 for the perfect sweep of the T side in OT. Can he manage?
Oh, man. That is a really terrible situation now. Robs, what a play. But it looks like we are going to look to that next half. Frozen coming through with a rotation. Hail Mary. Listen, it's not impossible. It's very unlikely, but there's actually a chance there's an opening.
Here.
Yeah, he's found it. But time eventually is going to catch up with him. 25 seconds as he turns one of the remaining corners, looking to flank into the B site. Imagine he goes here. Imagine. Off on
Starting
the
to work
wall.
towards
15
it.
seconds. They're going to clear this. No, they're waiting. They catch it. Astralis. They win one.
It's only one. And even then, if it was not for dupreeh, who gets that first shot, once Robs peeled Device out of the T-spawn.
This is the strongest Mousesports have looked in a long, long time. I mean, long.
They're facing an Astralis that has looked
Just as
good as ever.
This is proving that they have looked as good as we thought throughout this event.
We started with a couple blowouts, but now everyone delivers. Oh, and Device.
He's got an opening kill every round on OT, I feel like, with this op.
A big pickup.
He was the champion of this duel, even over Kenny S on the A ramp, early days on VERTIGO. He's the one you learned from, the one you still continue to as well. Bad flash. Glaive wants to peek off the sandbags. They get deep B stairs control. T's are grouped up here on the ramp, not playing games. They're here to move up quick. Kerrigan looks for information. Their flashback, he dies on it.
He decides to hyperextend. Now Astralis, they're starting to sink into this A site. BMAS, he's going to be on top of the site box. Glaive and Magis trying to play at that same time. BMAS really extending now for a bit of a risk. And he's not going to find anything. It's a clean sweep from Astralis, a near team ace. Only dupreeh goes down empty-handed. But what can Rops do? Absolutely nothing with this one. Astralis, they get their T round early.
Rops, it's ingrained in him like a circuit board. He cannot play fast enough to be able to pull off some clutch like this. He has to be careful. He'll take this gun forward. It's an AK at least here for the CT side. That's something. But that is one hell of a round. Opening op shots from Device constantly. It's just something that will not change. If there's everyone else in the server is nervous, Device is not one of them. That was some sick stuff. Punishment for the peaks. Scary for Mousesports to think to have to deal with that. Astralis absolutely in the power position now that we're tied at 17. They showed us a hell of a lot here on T side. We call back to Rops holding it down on B. That was one part of the game plan that didn't work out because of him.
It was the 3 final rounds of the CT side in regulation for Mousesports that really gave them any kind of a chance.
In this round, they just avoid him completely. If there's anyone who's good at learning from their mistakes, it's Astralis. So we'll see what that means for Rops. 30 kills, fantastic performance so far.
3 guys A-site early for Mouse.
Yeah, they're looking for a different mode of aggression here. Boost over top of the yellow. Looking for the timing. Obviously, teams assemble this boost in between timings for risk of getting spammed. But we haven't seen Astralis do too many of those into this corner. Will they read this as such?
Astralis have been way more successful with this boost than Mouse ever were.
Kerrigan gets burned down a little bit. CT nades are missing here.
But they still show nothing.
Yeah.
They're still all the way back.
They're trying to bait Kerrigan to flashing in.
Yeah, it's been once or twice we've seen Mousesports get aggressive. Still very little seen. Another Molotov over to the sandbags just to reconfirm.
Oh, they know it. Yeah, they know it.
So good. And BMAS, well, now he's going to have to extend onto the short side of things. Frag grenade could call out his position. They're going to double up on it. At any moment, shots could come through that smoke, but BMAS pounds them back with one. Magis, he's found the double. And Astralis looking for the bomb plant as Chris looks desperate as ever. Glaive, he had the possibility to challenge over smoke. More utility thrown. And Mousesports don't know where or what is ahead of them. Device looking for some sort of an angle. So many players for them to take down. A smoke thrown out from the CT side. Glaive, he's watching this. He is looking to barrel stuff an attempt from the counter-terrorists, and they don't even offer it over. Astralis securing double OT at least, because Mousesports don't take the chance. Mousesports concede.
We're seeing 4 major glaives in play now. This is the god brain of Counter-Strike. He absolutely knew what was coming that entire time. They waited the perfect amount, sprayed down. There was no chance to disassemble the boost. They called it out. The one tactic they had, they tried to bring that flash push forward. They tried to bait him out. They threw utility. They tried 3 times. That's what they were doing with all of that time, just to make sure. And then punish the final option that Mousesports had, ripping that play out of their notebook to never be seen again. Letting them know you have nothing. That will catch us off guard. And now what will Mousesports do?
They want to run any kind of a risk. We saw Astralis playing passive back in the hopes that Mousesports would come peeking around these angles, and they never, ever did. Frozen playing closer than ever. He is going to need to be better than ever. And that has been the tale of Mousesports in this event. In these recent weeks, they have been the challengers.
Playing against Astralis is playing against someone who can see the future, who can make your decisions for you, who can organize you whether you like it or not.
40 seconds remain. Mousesports trying to hold on here. But it is more of the same, and we saw Astralis chew through this setup just 1 round to go. Kerrigan, he's going to challenge through. He does take a player down with him. That is decent damage. Frozen versus Zipex. This is a big fight, and Frozen's going to get the better of it. Turns attention back. Bomb is planted. Device. He sinks into the sandbags. Glaive in the open. He gets the challenge, but Chris J takes the kill. Dupree's gonna shave Frozen off of short, and Astralis, they could still do this. More utility begins to fall. A smoke on top of it, but Device, he saw Chris. And now BMAS, he's gonna try to get on that bomb. A deagle out from Device, missing shots, losing teammates. Device is back, he hits a crucial shot, and now it's desperation. Double OT! Mousesports, keep this going!
Oh my god.
There are no words.
No way. Oh my god, double overtime. Let's just get right in.
Of these individuals to reset that heart rate, because we had an action-packed close to that first OT. 6 more rounds of Counter-Strike, or more.
Or less.
Or less.
First to 4 here in this OT. Or we go for another. Who knows what we've got coming up. We kind of reset the situation. Everyone cooling off. Coming into this again. What the hell just happened to Kerrigan? What the hell just happened to him? Is that through the tarp? Zipix coming up through the short shelf. They're trying to follow up. BMAS here sitting on the site.
Oh, they're going to go right in off of this. Why not? You just took down Kerrigan. You didn't even stand a damn chance. BMAS is outside of the smoke.
Oh my god.
2 more kills. Excellent start to overtime. Double overtime for Astralis.
And what should be a free round. Rops goes down. Chris J remains. Every little bit counts. But these kills are relatively worthless here. They're going to need the round. Chris in the 1-on-3 will push up, and they will make sure nobody can stick a bomb. Too many have been stuck in these smokes today alone. That's a quickie. Good coverage here. There's a Hail Mary through that smoke. I don't know.
His body, that's his op. So his body was sent down the building.
I think it was through the tarp. Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was through the tarp from the, as you speaking, short shelf or something, but...
Oh, he died over on sandbags.
There's a push into B. Chris, he's up the bat. He gets flashed early. They push up quick. They hear the op. They don't know how much he's fallen back. And Dupree will open up. That's fine for them, honestly. Chris with the op getting a kill is one thing. Rop's going down. That's the world. That's the world. You better believe they're thinking about B late now because of this. In order to keep it fresh, they have to get inside Mousesports' head. What's the adjustment now? Smoke down to the stairs. It doesn't shy glaive away. No re-aggressions here for the CTs.
How do they burrow their way in?
Yeah, this is about Mousesports kind of trying to read. I would be, you know, you've got to be trying to read glaive in this situation, and he just found a weakness.
So much pressure for BMAS. Such a difficult spot for him to be in alone. He's got Zipex just keeping eyes over top of that smoke. Frozen. He finds matches through one. Zipex is going to take damage off of the frag grenade. It's a man advantage here for Mousesports. Device now regains vision and sees Kerrigan glaive. He's going to get a little bit more aggressive, but does he really want to stick around towards green? Seems not. He falls off. Flash in the face of Device. Zipnix, he is just sitting on top of that bomb. He gets called out by BMAS. And Device, well, he's going to find his op shot. He still has glaive a little bit further behind him, but we keep our eyes on Device. He's going to swap over to the AK. Chris J rounding the smoke to his own demise. BMAS has to come in big, but there's just no time.
Positionally perfect plays by Device. Once again in the post plant, doing it all. They suffer some losses on the way in, but Rops, he has to sit there, hands and mouse off keyboard, watching it all go down. Knowing he got entry'd on the site, he has come up huge, or did in regulation. But without his impact, BMAS smoked out of position. Astralis find a way into B in OT. They didn't try it in so long.
Zywoo has now lost his last 5 1v1 clutches. Elliot, give him a break, man.
He can't stop losing clutches.
I'm curious if that resets. You know, like, is it... he's been in more than 1v1 since that last time he lost 4 in a row. So, like, did he lose 4 in a row,
like,
win
10,
1, and now
four?
lose... Yeah, right?
Fair enough.
I guess
Elliot
overall,
withholding.
Not the first time we've seen Zipnix go on a bit of a losing spree in terms of 1v1s, and that's what defines him. Where's Bubsky? He's still on nuke. Waiting for the next series.
Waiting on Dust to trust.
Oh, magic.
Oh, man. Device, okay. They change it back up. It's been a couple of rounds with just too early kills. Ooh, and Chris is eating all the flashes. Every single early position he's taken has been covered. No dry peaks for him. No easy day in the office for Chris. Coupled up on the A ramp are Astralis. They've got the op off of mid. They tested B hard last round. They've got him scared. They're coming back to A. They're starting to clear stuff out. Again, it's this game. Like, will they have Kerrigan flash push? Is there going to be a boost? And if not, if Mousesports play standard, what happens?
How can that be enough? More often than not, it isn't. They've also slipped away with a couple miraculous retakes. They need to win a round on CT side. I don't see a world where if they go down 0-3 here, they can somehow pull it back. Smoke grenade on the side of the short shelf. It's a challenge for Frozen, and he loses. Kerrigan, he is going to get flashed around that corner. He's going to try to sprint over to the sandbags. Takes Dupree down with him. 30 seconds. They're already getting shut down from short side. BMAS, that's a big delivery. And Kerrigan, he is still in position. They know he's here, but they cannot take him off this spot. He is fighting tooth and nail. And Chris J gives cover. Mousesports, they want this round. Astralis, they want Kerrigan, but they won't find him. We are right now. Double overtime. Map 4. Blowouts to start the series, and VERTIGO delivered. Mousesports are fighting tooth and nail, and right now they're trailing. It's the second half of a second OT, and we don't know what comes next, but what we know is we are here right now. So focus forward and sink in, because Astralis want to close this. They do not want to let Mousesports take it to a 5th one, and Glaive, well, he's going to begin. It's towards mid that this first fight falls.
Oh, we've already seen some new adjustments here. And again, Dupree, he is on that second op. A shot, a chance is missed. He'll flash his way back, but the opening kill will haunt Mousesports. How will they follow up with this? Glaive has moved in to defend against B. They have an idea. It's coming. B-Mass whip back and denies device, and this opens up the other site. Glaive, they don't know that he's actually moved this way around, and it'll offer him up a frag. He's going back over towards A to spot the cross, and Zipix, he's moved into the lower ramp.
Oh, they don't check fast enough. It's an immediate trade kill. Back to the 2v2, but Rops has been left. And if you thought Device, or rather Glaive, going over the box was one thing, well, Rops takes that exact same path like a hunter. He is on the trail of his prey. But Glaive may take one with him if he peeks out far enough. He knows his flank is compromised, but where has Rops got off to? Right behind you! And Dupree? Well, now it's got to be that 1v2 where Mousesports are going to tie this game at 20.
Holy hell, he's getting called out, man. Dupree, he's got to come up the ramp. He's walking. They know that could be an empty Molotov landing in his direction, and the smoke down means he could get on it. The peak will come, but the shot is in.
And now he's sticking this.
Oh my God, the shots are being
Another
missed.
Chance.
No way he actually gets it. One away.
He misses it again.
One away. Astralis could just finish the game now. Off of that, Dupree hits the shot, sticks it, and again. Shots missed on the defuse. This time it's Rops. Who's going to be next? The amount of moments that have come down to these sprays on players defusing when they have no other choice.
They cannot let that break them. A near mirrored image of the reason we even got to second OT.
Oh my God, the setup. Glaive, he's spotting this. Oh, he gets some spam damage, and 3 players down to nearly 50.
Oh, nothing.
Missed. Middle of the map is cracked open. Glaive, he'll get a very important kill to establish control. They sit out here in the open now, and Glaive could potentially wrap around. Dupree is back to his old antics.
He makes so much sound on that movement. Dupree, he's going to deliver another kill. They're starting to stutter inside of middle. Glaive, he is just beneath them. And that bomb carrier, well, that's going to be on Frozen. And he's down here in the dungeons. And Zipex, the king, drops him down to 34 HP. Every single player left for Mousesports now at near half health or less. Talk about pressure.
Okay, mid-round situation. Rops moving up to the A ramp at Zipix. He finds Frozen finally.
The bomb carrier, he comes in from a different position. But Zipnix, he smoked this off. Right there, right now.
Oh, he'll ask for the help.
They've got the bomb. Mousesports, they are stranded. They are desperate. And they have no way to get through this smoke. Not in time. They would have to walk through and find the most ridiculous kills that you have ever seen. Astralis here in double OT. They've got just B-Mass back by the forklift, and he is so desperate. He has nothing to offer them. They scramble, and they leave him in his own demise. It took 2 overtimes here on this fourth map, but Astralis have done it. Lower the drawbridge, open the gate,